Hey everyone, I'm Kiki.
And I'm Kari.
So, in today's video, it's gonna be a niche one, so we hope that you'll stick around and watch it for our art and just for us. But we're gonna be doing fan art of shows that we watched in our childhood. So this is gonna be a nostalgic one for us and maybe for you if you watched it, but I don't know, if you were born past 2006, you're not gonna get this. Maybe. Sorry to the youngins. Well, should we get started?
Yeah.
Alright, let's go. Alrighty guys, so I will be starting us off, and little disclaimer, I am only going to be drawing fan art of one thing, and that one thing is Jem and the Holograms. If you don't know what Jem and the Holograms is, it is a show from the 80s, and that's pretty much it. Like, we watched this show a lot as kids, which is funny how we got into this show because we watched the show on Netflix, and not just Netflix. Netflix back when it was on the Wii. Is my age showing? Yes, it was on the Wii. I'm gonna pull up some footage of what that looked like for you guys to see, because yes, that happened. Netflix was on the Wii for quite some time, and that was the way that our family watched movies and shows at the time. Crazy, right? And another fun fact, most of our childhood shows that we watched were actually because of Netflix on the Wii. Like, just some honorable mentions of shows that I considered drawing for this video, but could only make time for one. That being Strange Hill High, Puka, and others. I was gonna mention the others, but the others is what Kari is drawing, so. So anyways, back to Jem. So Jem and the Holograms is about this girl named Jerica. Well, I can't really explain the lore super awesome because there are times where we go a while without watching it, but just to give you the gist of how Jem and the Holograms goes, it's this girl whose dad is gone. He's not around anymore, but he had a music label and she takes over that music label business, and something happens and she finds this like machine called Synergy. Love Synergy. Slay. Love her. She's mother. She finds this machine and she finds out that it can make holograms, and if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure not long after meeting Synergy she had to use a hologram or something to get out of a sticky situation or something. I don't know. Anyway, so one thing leads to another, and Jerica creates a band called Jem and the Holograms, in which she is the main singer of Jem and the Holograms. She is Jem. She is Jem, and she's truly outrageous. She is outrageous. She's truly outrageous. I love her.
Outrageous!
But a thing about Jerica and Jem is that it's kind of like a miraculous ladybug situation where it's like, I guess in the daytime, she's Jerica. No, she's Jerica, just the music label lady, but also a caretaker of the Starlight children, you know, like an orphanage. She also owns an orphanage where she takes care of children. She's Jerica, right? But then she's also Jem, but she is trying to keep those identities separate, a secret. Mainly from her boyfriend, Rio. The only people that know that she's Jem is her own band, but other than that, nobody else knows that she's Jem. So every time there's a moment where both Jerica and Jem have to be in the room at the same time, she has to create a hologram. So it's like, Synergy, create a hologram of Jem right now. That's literally how it goes. She puts her hand on her earring and she's like, Synergy, now. Anyways, onto the actual art. So for this drawing, I wanted to, draw fan art of a specific part in the show, which has to do with a specific song from the show. Also, yes, because Jem is a musical sort of thing, like there's a lot of music because, it's, about bands. There is a lot of music, and I will say the music is banger, okay? It slaps so hard. I'm gonna leave a link in the description of the song that I drew fan art for this drawing, because I want you guys to listen to it. You don't have to, but listen to it. Maybe watch Jem because Gem is a gem. Oh, do you see what it is? Gem is a gem, literally. The music is so good. It's like, you know, it's from the 80s, so it's like, it literally has the vibes, because it is the moment, okay? Anyway, so I'm drawing fan art of the Who Is He Kissing era, Who Is He Kissing music video song, where basically it's Jerrica having a existential crisis about the fact that, oh, if you didn't know, yes, Rio is Jerrica's boyfriend, but when Gem comes into the picture, Gem is still Jerrica, you know? So when she sees Rio, she's like acting like herself, being all over Rio as if she were Jerrica, and Rio is just like, oh, okay. So he's unintentionally cheating on Jerrica, and I think Jerrica knows that. So Who Is He Kissing is that sort of existential crisis where it's like, oh my god, Rio is with me as Jerrica, but then he's also with Gem, and he doesn't know that Gem is also me, so he's basically cheating on me, and I'm upset about that because I'm keeping me being Gem a secret, and we all know that Rio hates liars. I hate liars. I hate lies. I don't know why Jerrica is keeping it a secret for so long in the show. There's really no reason for her to keep it a secret. If anything, Rio and her group of friends should know. Should be the only ones who know that she's Gem. Everyone else, like the misfits and stuff like that, they don't need to know. So it is kind of like an unnecessary like drama, but it is drama and I like it. I like the soap opera of that, you know? The Who Is He Kissing music video, I love it. The song, the visuals, love it. So yeah, I drew fan art of the Who Is He Kissing thing. I drew Gem and Jerrica and Rio kind of be like, ooh, because, you know, he's, you know, in a tug of war between the both of them, you know, like, yeah. So I don't really have much else to say other than Gem and the Holograms is on Tubi. You can watch it for free. Please watch it. Consider watching it. It's really good. I really like it. If watching older cartoons is not your thing, I totally understand, but maybe give Gem a little bit of a chance. The music is so good. If Hasbro is watching this, release the full songs, if it ever existed. I would be so sad if it's actually only 1 minute long, each song that plays in the show. I swear, there's so much music in the show, you will enjoy it. There's probably a playlist on YouTube somewhere of all of the songs. You could even just watch that. You don't have to watch Gem and the Holograms, but just know we love Gem and the Holograms, and just, yeah. I only care about the cartoon, by the way. I don't really care much about the movie. I remember when I was little and I heard about the movie coming out, I was like, I don't like this. Like, I know Kesha was in it, but I don't care. I like Kesha songs, but what does that have to do with Gem and the Holograms? I know some of the Gaga songs, but what does she have to do with cameras? Literally the same thing. But yes, I will link the Who Is He Kissing music video in the description. Watch it. Let me know what you think of it. Watch Gem. Download Tubi. It's free. Watch Gem if you want to watch Gem. If not, that is okay. But just know that Gem is truly, truly, truly outrageous. Okay, Sharon. Okay, that's enough from me. I've been rambling on for too long. Goodbye. I'm leaving you off with Gotti. Hey guys. Alright, let's jump right into it. The first show that I'm drawing fan art for is Zeke's Pad. I don't know if any of you watched it. I'm kind of doubting it, but surprise me, you know. It's a show from 2008. It's about a 14-year-old boy who's a skater and an artist who, I think in the intro is like literally the backstory all the time. It's like, Zeke was skating by a factory and they threw away some electronic pads. And then he picked up the pad and then he drew something because it came with a stylus. And when whatever he drew came to life. That's exactly what happens. He has an electronic pad that gives him the ability to make anything he draws come to life, which I think a teenage boy having that ability is that's a very dumb idea, but this is like kind of a boy show. So what do you think Zeke does in the show? He does very stupid things. I remember really liking this show. I don't know why. I don't know what it was with like shows that were kind of more meant for boys. I mean, no show is meant for boys or girls, but like this show was really like boyish. Like, you know, burping, farting, pooping, you know, all that. all that good boy stuff. Good boy. No. I didn't mean it like that. So I decided that I wanted to redraw or redesign and redraw, but first I redesigned Zeke's design and his friend Jay, Zeke Palmer and Jay Fritter. That's a weird name. I like Zeke Palmer, that sounds okay. But Jay Fritter? What? I don't know, maybe it's an inside joke. I don't know. So I redesigned Zeke, you know, thinking about it being from 2008. I just, you know, in the show, you know, they look okay. They do have clothes that I could imagine someone in 2008 wearing, but like, I don't know. I don't really like the design. It's okay, actually. It's pretty okay. I just made it, I think I kind of made them more generic, but I do like my designs too. I feel like I made Zeke still look like his skater self. Like I made him look like a dork, and so I did the same thing with his friend. So I found a screenshot, which I believe is from an episode. I think it was, I don't remember what number episode, but it's from an episode called Drawn Together. I needed to look up the context of the scene. Basically, I don't know what Zeke drew that made this happen, but basically, Zeke and his friend Jay are like magnetically attracted. Like they're stuck together. They're drawn together, like the name of the episode. And then they find out that, wait, if we're drawn together, we're gonna be drawn to magnetic things, which is like metal, so they get stuck to the refrigerator, and then a ladle comes flying at them, and then soon after, disaster strikes, and a bunch of cooking, like pots, pans, all that, stick to them. But yeah, so I just redrew the scene. I want to talk about my memories of Zeke's Pad. Honestly, I don't think we watched it for that long. I think we watched like a little bit of it, but we watched enough to be able to have some of the episodes ingrained in my mind. So here are a few that I will mention. The first episode that I remember is an episode called A Little Sketchy. Basically, the gist of the episode is that Zeke's little sister is going to an audition, and if she passes the audition, they can't do their little summer vacation or just vacation. And so Zeke's like, I don't want that to happen. So he draws, I don't know, I think he draws himself and his friend as really tiny people so that they can go into his sister's brain and control her so that sounds really bad. They control her so that she can mess up her audition. But she passes either way. Do you know what happens at the end of the episode? Basically, Zeke's big brother, who is like a gym bro, he has a smoothie, like a protein shake that they remembered, or they overhear him saying like, oh, it's gonna make me big and strong. And so they're like, how do we get big again? Because, you know, they're too small for Zeke to be able to draw on his little electronic pad. So they drink the drink together, and when they get big, you know, they're both drinking out of the same straw, so you can probably imagine how awkward that was. But yeah, that's an episode that I remember. Another one, which I think is kind of funny, is an episode called Gender Render. Basically, Zeke turns himself into a girl to try to understand girls better so that he can get his crush to like him, I guess. I think this show is very, it knows its audience. I don't know why I was part of the audience, but you know. But yeah, I really liked the way my drawing turned out. I think they turned out really silly. I really like the expressions for this. It's funny, I didn't know the context of the scene before I drew it, but like, you know, knowing the context now, I think it still fits. I think, you know, that's good. That's good. So yeah, this is the drawing. Let me know if you watched Zeke's Pad. It was a kind of crazy show. It only lasted for a year. So I don't know how many of you guys will remember the show or if any of you ever watched it. Like, I'm pretty sure I've seen this show mentioned on like a TikTok series where it's like, oh, shows that you forgot about. But I never forgot. Me neither. Alright, let's move on to the final drawing. Alright, we're at the final drawing, and I will be drawing Ruby Gloom. Ruby Gloom, guys. Ruby Gloom. Do you guys know Ruby Gloom? I know her. I have her number. So, for those of you that do not know, Ruby Gloom is a show from 2006. It's about this ragdoll girl who is really positive. She can find the positive in anything. A lot of the slogan is like, she's the happiest girl in the world. But the show in general has a kind of sort of like, I would say emo. It's very like emo aesthetic, you know. I was drawn to it like a moth to a flame, really. I'm not emo though. But I really did like the show and the aesthetic and all that. It's really silly. I really like it. I miss watching Ruby Gloom. But because she's the happiest girl in the world, I also put a little slogan that says, "I'm so happy I could die." I mean, she's so happy. You know, she's a happy girl. So I did some drawings of her friends around her, and yeah, this is pretty self-explanatory, and also this is definitely not an excuse for me to draw fan art for Ruby Gloom. I've actually done fan art for Ruby Gloom a couple of times. I think I've only drawn Ruby though, but I'll still show it. So there's Ruby. I had a lot of fun rendering this, like the hair and the eyes. I really like the way the eyes turned out. I kind of like, you know, added some extra stuff to them because, like, I mean, in the original art you can see that Ruby has just like black eyes with just white dots in them, but I added a little bit of red. And also around her joints, like where her elbows bend and her wrists bend, I like added some extra lines in there because she's supposed to be a rag doll. And for the longest time, I thought she was just like a really mundane kind of like normal person in the show. But everyone's like, you know, there's some creature of some kind, or like a monster or a zombie or something like that. But Ruby is supposed to be a rag doll. Where were the rag doll elements? You know, the decorative aspects of her face, like around her eyes and stuff. They remind me of a sugar skull, not a rag doll. That's just something that I wanted to point out. No hate to the people that designed Ruby, but she does not look like a rag doll. Give the girl some stitches. So I was actually about to not choose Ruby Gloom as my second show. I was going to choose a show called Angela Rules. I think it's from around the same time, like 2010-ish maybe. A lot of these shows are like Canadian. Like, I think Angela Rules is like Canadian French, Ruby Gloom is Canadian, Zeke's Pad is Canadian Australian. That's crazy. Not really though. It's our top hat. They're right, they're neighbors. Canada, oh Canada. So shout out to all our Canadians watching. I don't know if there are any Canadians, but if you're Canadian and you're watching this video, hi. How are ya? So, yeah, Angela Rules. It's another kind of boyish show, but I really liked Angela Rules. It like had it was like 3D animated, but it had it felt like a claymation sort of show. Like it had a lot of texture that felt like clay, and I really liked the character designs and all that. So yeah, Angela Rules was really close to being the second drawing, but I stopped myself because I had to think. Zeke's Pad and Angela Rules are both like kind of like boy shows. I kind of want variety, and Zeke's Pad and Ruby Gloom are very different from each other. Very different. So yeah, I just went with Ruby Gloom. I could have done Angela Rules and Ruby Gloom because, to be fair, Angela Rules was literally my favorite show. Like, when I was growing up. Like, I liked it a lot more than Zeke's Pad. I just tolerated Zeke's Pad, you know? Him drawing on his pad, you know, like... So, yeah. This is Ruby Gloom. My little Ruby Gloom fan art. I hope you like it. I really liked it. I think it turned out really cute. I really like her face and her hair. I just love Ruby Gloom. I miss Ruby Gloom. And I love Ruby Gloom. So this is Ruby Gloom. Ruby Gloom, Ruby Gloom, Ruby Gloom. Alrighty guys, so that is all we have for today's video. Again, apologies on my part for only drawing one thing. I was quite busy. So I couldn't really draw more than one thing. So I'm happy that I went with Gem. So yeah. Also, we know this video was a bit niche, you know, so we hope you guys still enjoyed it, even if maybe you don't know any of these shows. That's totally okay if you don't know these shows. We are just being nostalgic old ladies looking back at our childhood. We're not even that old. But if you did watch these shows, you're awesome and we love you. Everyone else, you're awesome and we love you. But if you watch these shows and you remember these shows,
You get a gold star.
Yeah.
Everyone else, you get a gold star. It's slightly smaller.
Kidding.
Well, yeah, all jokes here.
Well, anyways, that's all we have for today's video. And, you know, we'll see you in the next one.
It's
We're
gonna be
very
a good
excited.
one.
We're very excited.
I'm gonna give you a hint. It starts with the L, ends with the S.
Anyways, we love you. We'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.
Bye!
Bye.
Bye!
Bye.